What's up everyone, my name is Alpha and today we're back with another Pokemon Challenge video. Today we're on Pokemon Sun and Moon. Well, we're on Sun, and today's challenge will be, can I beat Pokemon Sun Hardcore Nuzlocke? We're only using shiny Dragon type Pokemon only. If you guys do not know, Dragon types are one of the best Pokemons in the entire game. However, in their baby stage, they are one of the weakest Pokemon possible. They have bad stats, they take a long time to evolve because they gain XP very slowly, and they have pretty high evolution levels, so they're difficult to train up, but once you get to the end game, it should be good. And our goal is trying to beat Pokemon Sun using only Dragon type Pokemon. On screen right now, you'll see all the rules, part of the Hardcore Nuzlocke obviously. That will include being only able to catch Dragon type Pokemon, but they have to be shiny, so we have to shiny hunt each time for a new Dragon type Pokemon for our team. And as well, there's going to be a level cap, as you can see on the bottom left of the screen. There's going to be a level cap where you cannot go over the level before you face off against the kahuna of the game. So we're going to base off the levels of the kahunas, and also there's no items inside the battle, and you must play on set mode for the entirety of this challenge. As well, each of my Pokemon will be nicknamed after you guys in the comments, so thank you so much for leaving a comment in my previous challenge video. If you guys want to be nicknamed after a future Pokemon in my future challenge video, just drop in the comments and hopefully I'll pick yours. And while you're down there, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel. It means a lot to me. We're very close to 40k. If anyone cares at all, we're very close to 40k, about 400 subscribers off. So it means the world to me if you guys can show some support. And let's get into the challenge video itself. So to begin off, I actually skipped a bunch of the tutorial because this was actually supposed to be a different video, but I changed it up. And I chose a Dratini because Dratini's in the game technically, but you can't get them into after the game in the post game. So I decided to just give myself a Dratini as a starter Pokemon. It actually works out pretty well because it's basically a starter Pokemon, but it's not good enough. It's not that great. The bad thing about this is that I don't get my next Dragon type Pokemon for a long time actually, so I'm gonna have to go around just using my Dratini. And luckily, we're barely able to beat Alima. Alima is very close to beating me down, as we're able to beat him, and then we can head into our very first trial of the game. Before we actually head into that though, we want to get all the berries possible. Normally I don't get every single berry. I mainly go for the berry spots that I know that are good, but I'm going to every single berry spot to get all the healing berries possible because they're very useful, and you'll see why. As well, we're going to head into our very first trial in the game. We're going to face off against the Gumshoos. The Gumshoos is going to be the first totem Pokemon we're going to face off against, and he's pretty difficult. But luckily enough for us, Dratini's amazing, and it learns Dragon Rage, which always does 40 damage to your opposing Pokemon, and in the beginning stages of the game, actually for a long time, it's a really good move, as I'm able to knock down the Gumshoos to red HP, and then immediately go for a Twister, which will knock him out, and also knock out the Yungoos that he spawns in. And we're able to beat down the normal totem pretty easily, as we're able to face off against the first kahuna in the game. We're going to face off against Hala next. Hala is going to be the fighting type kahuna, and he's going to start the battle off against us using a Mankey. I went for a Twister immediately. I want him to proc me down to low HP. There's a reason why, because I do have, I think, a Papa Berry on, so it's going to regain my HP all the way up. Once the Makuhita hits me, actually I have a Citrus Berry on, which will regain my HP, and I have to hope I'm able to knock out the Makuhita with a lot of HP left over as he sends out his Crab Brawler. I'm able to Dragon Rage it, and then he goes for a Leer. All that setup, and he doesn't go for a Z move at all. So the Crab Brawler let me down for some reason. I went through all the prepping. I made sure my Pokemon's ready to go, and it was able to survive one Z move with a Citrus Berry, and he didn't even go for a Z move at all. So that was disappointing, as we're able to beat Hala, but well, all the preparation was for nothing. As you will see, this is gonna be my first time facing off against a fairy type Pokemon in this challenge, and it goes pretty bad. As you can see, I'm not able to do a lot of damage. Luckily enough, I do have Wrap, and I'm able to beat down the trainer. Luckily it wasn't the Carbink, which I'm able to avoid, and then from there I can move on and face off against the Wishy-Washy totem. The Wishy-Washy totem is a pretty easy totem. As you can see, we're able to Dragon Rage twice against it, and we're able to knock him out pretty easily. It even spawns a pretty difficult Pokemon in the Alamola, and I'm able to 3-shot it with Dragon Rage. 3-shot in this early stage of the game is insane. From there, we have access to Tauros, which will Rock Smash for us, and also the Lapras, which will surf around for us. We're able to go to Cali's Beach or Bay, or Kao's Bay, something like that, and we're able to search out for a shiny Bagon in here, which is giving me our second Pokemon in the game. It takes a long time because Bagon is a low spawn rate, but eventually we get ourselves a shiny Bagon from this. We're able to Thunder Wave it down and also Great Ball it to get ourselves our second Pokemon. is a pretty decent Pokemon. Unfortunately, both my Pokemon on my party right now evolves at 30. So we're not going to get that into way later. As we're going to head into our very next totem, which is going to be against the fire totem. We have to firstly clear through all the pre-battles. We have to fight the Marowak and also the Magmar, and then face off against the Salazzle itself. I do have a berry on. I think I have a Lumberry on to avoid the toxic. My Dragon Rage 2 shots the Salazzle, which is nice, as it's going to go for a Torment on the second turn, which I'm able to knock him out super easily. And then the Salandis can do a lot of damage with the Venoshock. In this instance, maybe I should have kept a Citrus Berry on my Dratini, but I'm going to go out into my Bagon. I'm able to headbutt twice into the Salandit, knock out the Salandit, and finish off against the Fire Trial. From there, we're just going to move on immediately after and face up against the Grass Trial. The Grass Trial, we're going to face up against a Totem Lurantis, which is going to be quite painful. Also, I didn't realize how close to the level cap I am. I'm about to pass it, but I'm able to survive an X-Scissor, which is going to be a crit, which is terrible for me. But I'm able to Dragon Rage into the Lurantis. It spawns a cast form. Luckily, it wasn't a Trumpig. I was scared it was going to be the Trumpig and it's going to pluck my berry. I think that's an instant lose because it takes away my berry. I'm able to Thunder Wave into the Lurantis. The cast form is going to transform into his fire typing. I'm going to go for a Dragon Rage. Luckily enough, the Paralyze works and it's going to get stuck in paralysis. In this turn though, if it attacks me, I am dead. So lucky enough, it does get paralyzed twice in a row as I get a second Dragon Rage off against him. And it pops my berry. I gain about all my HP with and I pop a berry. From there, I just got a Dragon Rage again. Since I outspeed the Lurantis, knock out the Lurantis. It only hits me once with a critical X-Scissor. And then from there, I'm able to Dragon Rage twice into the cast form to knock him out. And we're able to beat down the Grass Trial, as it always gives me a lot of trouble. I thought I was going to have to sack my Bagon or something. But from there, since we're done with all three trials, we're able to face off against the Kahuna of the island. We're going to face off against Olivia next. Olivia is going to be the Rock Kahuna of the game, and she's going to be pretty powerful. I'm going to start the battle off against her using my Bagon. Now, the reason for this, though, is I don't want to get paralyzed on my Dratini, especially since I don't have Shed Skin. I think I messed up in the PK Hexing. I'm supposed to have Shed Skin, I just realized. But I have Inner Focus as an ability, which I don't think is correct. But from there, I'm able to Brick Break into the Nose Pass. It does a lot of damage, but it's going to Rock Slide and do a lot of damage to me as well. Olivia is also able to heal up against me, so it's unfortunate. So it's going to do a lot of damage. It's going to knock me down to my berry, which is a Mega Berry. I'm able to actually survive this encounter and knock out the Nose Pass pretty easily, as she's going to switch out into her Boulder next. I get paralyzed. I don't get a Brick Break off against him, but I get a Dragon Breath, and I paralyze the Boulder, which allows me to go out into my Dratini, and Dratini is able to Dragon Rage and knock out the Boulder. And then the Lycanroc can come out next. I expect the Lycanroc to go for a Z move. I go for a Protect. It went for a Rock Throw. That means it's going to Z the next turn, and I can't risk a 50-50 on this. So I just sack my Bagon, unfortunately, to the Z move, which is so sad to see, but it's got to be done. I go out into my Dratini next. I go for a Thunder Wave against the Lycanroc, and lucky enough, it goes for a Rock Throw and almost knocks me out. Luckily, my Berry procs, and my Figgy Berry gets me up to an HP where the Lycanroc's unable to knock me out in one turn unless it gets a crit. I go for a Dragon Rage, and unfortunately, it does not two-shot him, but it gets paralyzed, and I'm able to Dragon Rage 2 more times as to survive a Rock Throw at 2 HP and knock out the Lycanroc, and we end up beating Olivia just barely. Unfortunately, we get a death on our death counter as we lose our Bagon, but I mean, sometimes you gotta make sacrifices. If that battle was redone 9 different times, I'm pretty sure I would have lost. But from there, the level cap is going to increase to 39. I'm going to take that advantage and also train up my Dratini into a Dragonair. So I want to take the opportunity to overlevel my Dragonair as far as I can. So I could just blaze through the few trials I have ahead of me. Struggle a little bit against the Electric Trial, but I'm able to pretty comfortably knock them out. And once we're done with the Electric Trial, we're able to go into the Power Plant area. And in this area, we're able to encounter our next Dragon-type Pokemon. Finally, our next Dragon-type Pokemon, since we're playing on Sun, is going to be a Turtonator. Turtonator is going to be a Fire and Dragon-type Pokemon, which is going to be actually very useful for the next trial in the game. We're going to spend our time looking for a Turtonator, a shiny Turtonator, which isn't the best looking Pokemon in the world, but we're going to spend our time catching it and adding to our team. From there, we're going to face off against the next trial using the Turtonator. Turtonator is going to be a Fire Dragon type, facing off against Mimikyu, and it's 5 levels higher than it. I go for a Shell Smash at the start of the battle because I was hoping I was able to pretty comfortably beat them down with Incinerate, but I realized midway through this, it does a lot of damage. Like, Mimikyu is just unfair. Lucky enough, I do have a Wiki Berry to regain my HP. I knock out the Haunter in one shot. That is spawns in, and I'm able to break the disguise of the Mimikyu. From there, it goes for a Mimic, which I'm so thankful it went for, as I'm able to get a free Flamethrower off against him, get him down to low HP, and then from there, all I gotta do is outspeed. And of course I don't. Obviously, I don't outspeed him. Play Rough is going to knock me down to 23 HP, but I'll outspeed the Gengar. I'm able to Incinerate, knock out the Gengar and the Mimikyu in one turn. And that got a little more dicey than I really wanted. I don't know how to play that better, because honestly, it probably would have knocked me out, because I'm pretty sure I'm not able to do enough damage with Flamethrower. So, luckily enough, I got very lucky. It went for Mimic in that one turn, as we're able to beat down the Ghost Trial, which is one of the hardest trials in my opinion. From there, we're going to go into the desert, and I always forget about this desert area, but we're finally able to get our next Dragon-type Pokemon, which is going to be a Trapinch. I could have got a Gibble here, but Gibble is going to be a weird SOS encounter, which I don't really know how to do completely, and most of the Pokemon don't SOS as well, and I don't have a Ground-type Pokemon. I caught this Fearow. I'm not going to use this Fearow on my team. It just helps me get better encounters quicker. So eventually I am able to find myself a shiny Trapinch a little faster than normal, because I do have a Fearow that doesn't get Arena Trap, and I'm able to catch the Fearow and add it to my team, which is going to be the third member of the game. From there, I'm very desperate. I'm going for a bunch of SOS encounters in Route 14 right before a Po Town. Whenever I tried, it has to be in the rain for it to even spawn a Goomy, let alone me trying to get any Pokemon to SOS encounter at all. No one's calling for help at all. I'm using items inside a battle for this instance because it's kind of needed in my opinion. I'm not counting this as bending the rules. I'm showing this so you guys know, but it's not working at all. Nothing's working. The SOS encounters are not working at all. So I decided to just bin it. And I'm like, you know what? I don't need a Goomy. I can't even get a Goomy. I can't even search for a Goomy at all. But from there, we're going to face off against Guzma, beat Guzma, and then face off against Nanu. Nanu's going to be the Dark-type Kahuna of the game. And we're going to start the battle off against him using my Vibrava, which actually has Earthquake as a move. So it's going to do a lot of damage against his Sableye. 2 shots to Sableye. And I outspeed, obviously, so I'm able to knock him out. His next Pokemon is going to be a Crocroc, which I go out to my Dragonair next. Dragonair does not have the best moves, as I go for an Aqua Tail against him. Luckily enough, I'm able to break through the confusion, which could have been very bad for me. I knock out the Crocroc, and his final Pokemon will be an Alolan Persian, which I go out to my Turtonator. Turtonator is able to Flamethrower, pretty much comfortably knock out the Persian. I activate my Citrus Berry, but you know what? It's pretty needed. Because Pyrogym does a lot of damage, but we're able to beat down Nanu pretty easily, and our level cap jumps up to 48 at this point. From there, we're forced to go into the Aether Foundation and clear through all this, story and stuff. One thing I found out is Expert Belt Vibrava is actually a pretty cool Pokemon. It does a lot of damage. I mean, these Pokemon are weak to ground type moves, and Earthquake's like the best ground type move. But, I mean, it does a lot of damage. I mean, it's pretty cool. I like Expert Belt Vibrava. Anyways, from there, we're going to beat down Guzma once again at the hideout at the Aether Foundation, and also beat down Lucamine. Big thing to note, this Clefable, very powerful, very annoying. So we had to keep in mind of a game plan for that thing later on. From there, we can go into Executor Island and get our last Pokemon. Yes, our last Pokemon. We can't get a Drampa because Drampa is a Moon Pokemon exclusively. So this is going to be our last Pokemon. We're going to have to search out for a shiny Executor or Execute. So most likely we can find ourselves an Execute, as we're able to obviously find ourselves an Execute. Execute's not the best Pokemon, but it's gotta do. Shiny Executor is gonna be our final Pokemon on our team, as we're gonna face off against Hapu next. Hapu's gonna be the ground type Kahuna of the game, and we're gonna start the battle off against her using my newly formed Flygon. Flygon's able to Earthquake into the Dugtrio and knock him out pretty easily, and then her next Pokemon will be her own Flygon, which I'm able to knock out. I mean, nothing too difficult. She outspeeds me, which is kind of annoying because I swear I'm faster. But whatever, my Flygon's able to survive that. And then I'm going to go out to my Executor against her Mudsdale, which technically I could have bait in the Z move, but I'm able to outspeed the Mudsdale, obviously, and then Leaf Storm to knock out the Mudsdale. And then her final Pokemon will be a Gastrodon, which I'm able to Leaf Storm as well. And down goes Hapu. I mean, it's not too difficult of a battle at all, as we're able to beat down her. Oh wait, I lied. This is not the last Pokemon at all. Executor is not my last Pokemon. We go into this area here. I think it's Route 16, 17, something like that. We're able to find ourselves the pseudo-legendary Pokemon of this region. We're able to find ourselves a Jangmo, which is going to be the final Pokemon on our team. It's going to be a shiny Jangmo, which is going to be a fighting and dragon-type Pokemon, and the final member of our team finally. Thing is, we catch it so close to its evolution rate that we're just going to spend the time to evolve it right now anyway. So on our team, we're going to have a Como. We're also soundproof, I believe, as an ability. We're able to completely wall this Totem Como with soundproof as an ability. This entire totem fight is useless, as we're getting Dragon Claw multiple times into the Como and knock him out, and then the Scizor gets knocked out by my Turtonator, and we're able to beat down the final trial in the game, as we're going to face off against Nuzlocke in the really wacky world, which she should have had Naya Lego on her team. Since there's so many, she should have had one, but we're going to start the battle off against her using my Dragonair to Thunder Wave into the Clefable. This is just to paralyze it so it doesn't do too much, but it's going to go for Cosmic Power, as I'm going to go to my Flygon. Anything it does so much damage, so I'm going to try to knock him out as fast as I can with my Flygon. Luckily enough, it doesn't go for a Moonblast most of the time, it goes for Metronome. Unfortunately, it went for Metronome, and it went for Glaciate. Glaciate is the special move of Kyurem. So I don't know why it went for Glaciate. So it could have went for like, I don't know, for like Metal Sound or something. Anything else would have been great. It had to be an Ice move in that situation. Yeah, maybe even Ice Shard. I would have lived in Ice Shard, possibly. But it had to be Glaciate, where it was guaranteed to knock me out. But anyways, I'm going to spend my time Shell Smashing 3 times in front of this Clefable. I'm pretty sure it can't do too much damage to me anyway, since it's going to go for Metronome most of the time. As I'm able to Flamethrower into the Clefable, knock him out. And then the Mismagius comes out. I'm able to Flamethrower once again, knock out the Mismagius, knock out the Milotic, which was a huge threat, and also knock out the Bewear, and that should be the end of Nuzlocke, as we're also going to beat down her Lilligant. We're able to beat down Nuzlocke. Unfortunately, we do lose another member of our team. We lose our Flygon, but sometimes sacrifices have to be made, and from there we're going to head into the Pokemon League. But before then, we're going to face off against Hal next. Hal is going to be our rival, and he's not too difficult at all. So we're going to beat down Hal, and then the Professor is going to lead us into the Elite Four, and then we're going to start off our Elite Four challenge. Our first Elite Four member we're going to face off against is going to be Hala. Hala is going to be the fighting type Elite Four member, and since we're able to finally have a Dragonite, we have Fly on it as well as the strongest move possible. We also have the Expert Belt on him, so we're going to start the battle off against his Hariyama with my Dragonite to Fly against him. I don't know why I went for Aqua Tail, but I go for a Fly in the following turn. He's going to switch out into his Poliwrath, which I one-shot. Huge play. I'm able to Fly against his Crabominable. I did the calcs. I'm pretty sure Fly is like guaranteed one-shot kill to like any Crabominable with Expert Belt. And then from there, I thought I was going to outspeed the Primeape. I was wrong. It goes for an Outrage against me. I am able to survive it, luckily enough, but that could have been bad. I'm able to Fly against the Primeape, knock him out in one shot, and then his next Pokemon will be the Hariyama at the start. I could have knocked out the Hariyama, but unfortunately I had to switch out since it's going to use Fake Out. I go out to my Komo, which is able to basically knock out the Hariyama for me, knock him down to low HP, and then knock him out with a Fallen Dragon Claw, and his final Pokemon will be a Bewear. I go out into my Turtonator, which will two-shot him with Flamethrower, and that should be the end of the battle. So we end up beating Hala, and now we can face off against the next Elite Four member. We're going to face off against Olivia. Yes, Olivia, the one that knocked out my Bagon at the start. We get a revenge on her as we send out our Executor against her. We're able to Sleep Powder into the Relicanth eventually. We had to swap in between my Pokemon. Eventually put the Relicanth to sleep and then go out into my Como against her. From there, I'm able to Swords Dance up against her with my Como. I want a +6 for sure because I want to knock out the Carbink as well. Carbink's going to be a bit of a threat against me, but eventually he's going to put me to sleep as well, but that should be fine as I'm able to wake up, Sky Uppercut into the Relicanth and knock him out in one shot. She then switches out into her Carbink, which I'm able to Sky Uppercut again, knock out the Carbink. Her next Pokemon will be a Probopass. I'm able to Dragon Claw and then Dragon Claw again. It does get me paralyzed, which is kind of annoying, but I'm able to knock out the Probopass. Her next Pokemon will be the Lycanroc that does so much damage. I go for a Sky Uppercut, I get paralyzed, it goes for a counter, which is a poorly planned move because I'm pretty sure I'm going to one-shot the Lycanroc, as I do. So I knock out the Lycanroc, and her final Pokemon will be a Golem. Her Alolan Golem is not going to do a lot of damage as it's going to go for a Thunder Punch against me, and I'm able to knock him out in 2 shots as he keeps getting sturdy up, which is kind of annoying, but eventually I'll knock out the Alolan Golem. So we finally get our revenge on Olivia and we don't lose a single Pokemon against her. And then from there, we're going to face off against Accelera. Accelera is going to be the Ghost type Elite Four member of the game. She's going to start the battle off against us using a Sableye. I go for my Dragonite, go for a Dragon Rush, and one-shots the Dragon. Oh my god, it's so strong. Then she's going to switch out into her Frostlass, which is going to go for a Blizzard. Luckily enough, it doesn't have Ice Beam, so I'm able to risk it. I did not know it's going to do that much damage against my Turtonator, but I'm able to go for a Flamethrower against her as she's getting confused right me, and I hit myself in confusion, which is the totally what I wanted to do. Luckily enough, Karma hits back and she misses a Blizzard, which would have knocked me out. So I'm able to Flamethrower and knock out the Frostlass. Her next Pokemon is going to be a Palossand. Luckily enough, it doesn't go for a Z move Ghost. It goes for an Earth Power against me as I'm able to Leaf Storm into him and knock him out. Alright, and then her next Pokemon will be a Delmice, which I go out into my Dragonite. I'm able to, I don't have Fly again. I don't know why I took out Fly, but I'm able to Dragon Rush twice into him. I don't miss Dragon Rushes like that. I'm able to knock out the Delmice, and then her next Pokemon will be a Drifloon. I go for a Thunder Wave against her. I'm able to get her paralyzed, and then just gotta weaken her down. I missed some Dragon Rushes, but 2 Dragon Rush will be able to knock out the Drifloon, as we're able to beat down a Celeera. And then finally, we're going to face off against the 4th and final Elite 4 member before the champion. We're going to start the battle off against Kahili using my Dragonite. Now, there's a reason why I did this. I wanted Thunder Wave into her Skarmory and then go out into my Turtonator. Turtonator does wall against the Skarmory, as I'm able to Shell Smash up against the Skarmory as well. And she's going to set up spikes, all that. I get a +6 because I'm not too confident with my speed tier against her. But eventually, once she hits me, I'm going to hit back with a Flamethrower and knock out the Skarmory in one shot. At this point, pretty certain I'm able to knock out everything as I go for a Dragon Pulse against the Manabuzz to one-shot it. Her Toucannon comes out, I'm able to outspeed it, knock out with a Dragon Pulse. I use Dragon Pulse because it's a cooler animation than Flamethrower. I mean, I don't remember Dragon Pulse being this cool looking, so I go for a bunch of Dragon Pulses. Eventually, I outspeed the Crobat and I'm able to beat down Kahili, and we're able to clear through the Elite 4 pretty easily. We're going to face out against the champion of the game. We're going to face out against Professor Kukui. Professor Kukui is going to start the battle off against us using a Lycanroc. I go for my Como because I think I saw a free opportunity to go for a Swords Dance. He's going to go for a Stealth Rocks. I lied. He went for a Stone Edge. I assume he's going to go for a Stealth Rocks, but he went for a Stone Edge. He crits me in that interaction as well. I also don't have Drain Punch because I don't think it's a TM in this game. So I'm at half HP. I don't have a Berry on, and he gets Stealth Rocks off against me. But I'm able to Sky Uppercut, knock out the Lycanroc, and then he sends out the strongest Pokemon in the game. He sends out Primarina. But I have Poison Jab, and I have Sword Dance up, and I'm praying that's enough to kill. It's enough to kill the Primarina. And then he sends out his Ninetales. I was hoping he goes for Blizzard and just miss, but he goes for Dazzling Gleam and obviously knocks me out. And I'm like, I think I lose here. Do I post this video? Do I have to restart completely? But it's gonna work out. I go for my Turtonator. He goes for a Blizzard for some reason. I guess it's stronger than Dazzling Gleam, but he misses his Blizzard, which is huge. I go for a Flash Cannon. He's gonna go down to red HP, and then he's gonna heal up again. And then Flash Cannon gets a high roll, knocks on the Ninetales for me. So that's 3 Pokemon down. His next Pokemon is gonna be a Snorlax, which I go for a Flamethrower, looking for a burn. Does not work. He's gonna go for a high horsepower, and it's gonna be bad for me. I go for my Dragonite next. Dragonite is able to Thunder Wave into the Snorlax as it gets body slammed too. I don't have Roost. Terrible planning by me. But I went to Dragon Rush, and I was hoping Fly would kill. Fly, of course, let me down and left him on 1 HP as he goes for another Body Slam. He activates my Berry though, and it doesn't get me paralyzed, so you know what? I'll take it. He's gonna go for a full restore as I go for a Thunder Wave. I risked it, hoping he did go for it. I'm also able to Dragon Rush into him. He gets paralyzed, and then Dragon Rush again. I missed. Of course, I missed the crucial one. But I'm able to Dragon Rush once again to knock out the Snorlax. His Bravery comes out next. He's going to go for a Brave Bird and knock me out, which is unfortunate. I was hoping to get a Thunder Wave off against him, but it didn't work. From there, he goes crazy. He does not go for a Brave Bird. One Brave Bird to knock out my Executor would have won him the game. I'm not too sure what he was doing here, but I was looking for all the damage in the world. I survive a Brave Bird, surprisingly. I'm able to knock out his Bravery because he wasted so many turns against me. Just setting up Tailwind for some reason. And then from there, he's going to switch out to his Magnezone. I was looking to break his 30, obviously. He's going to Flash Cannon me, and he's going to knock me down to low HP. I break his 30. Maybe I should have gone for a Sleep Powder, but it still would have been enough. I go out to my Turtonator next. Turtonator also has a Berry. It pops the Berry, goes up to 4 HP. And then from there, I'm able to Flamethrower into him. He goes for a Thunder Wave. Oh no, it's not looking good. I got paralyzed in the paralysis. He goes for a Thunderbolt. He does a lot of damage to me. But looking up, I break through the paralysis. I think I have one more shot at him. Oh wait, Flamethrower does not kill. So I have to break through paralyze one more time or I lose. And luckily enough, I do survive a Thunderbolt and then break through paralysis. I'm able to Flamethrower, knock out the Magnezone, and we're able to beat the champion of the game. Wow, that got way too close. You know what? I'm actually surprised. I was lucky I had a game plan and I was able to bait out his strongest fairy type Pokemon, because that would have been very bad if I obviously was unprepared for that. But lucky enough, I got lucky at the end. I got a bunch of paralysis. He should have just Brave Bird me like once or twice in between all those turns and he would have won easily. But we got lucky. We take all the luck we can. And that's what do it for the challenge video. I want to say thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. It means a lot to me you guys make it this far. If you guys can, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel. Let me know what kind of typing you guys want to see in the future videos. It's pretty fun to do. I love Sun and Moon, and I might actually do something special with Sun and Moon sooner in the future. Might be a soul link or something. I don't know what a soul link is, but my friend and I are trying to work up a soul link, and I want to make a video out of it. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. My name's been Alpha. Hope you guys all had a great day, and I'm out. Peace.